Hey VC, TC Kirkham here, TKR Video Central. Welcome to another episode of TC's Vinyl Archive, the complete albums collection. I'm going to do two sections rather, this time because they're both rather small. Going to cover holiday and various artists. And various artists is subdivided into two additional categories, and I'll explain that when we get there. But we're going to start with the holiday stuff. Holiday is every holiday song, as long as it is a holiday themed album. There are a couple of exceptions that were in the soundtracks or vice versa. But these are all things that I love and I've listened to. Purchased a lot of them, most of them, over the last 5 or 6 years. I had a large holiday collection when I was in high school. Not large, but fairly big for a kid, and I lost most of it on our cross country move, and I've never been able to replace them. So I bought other things. I really would like to have that double Osmond's Christmas album back though, because it had a whole family doing stuff. Donnie and Marie, Jimmy, all solo and together. It was a lot, it was a pretty good album. No such luck though. Anyway, let's get into the stuff that has come along in the last few years, along with some of the stuff I've always had, some of the stuff that wasn't lost. This is Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass Christmas album. This was from Black Box, I believe. I had never had it. It is absolutely fantastic. Of course, it's Herb Alpert. I am a Herb Alpert sucker because I grew up with him. Really good stuff, and all the typical Christmas stuff is here. This is on 180 gram vinyl. Really terrific. Next up, A Medieval Christmas from the Boston Camerata, Joel Cohen director. This is exactly what it says it is. It's medieval suites and such. That includes all different languages, all different types of stuff, different cultures, a little bit of everything. This is still sealed because I have the CD and I have the digital, so I decided to leave the vinyl sealed. Not going to get rid of it though, unlike some of the other stuff. This is Backstreet Boys, a very Backstreet Christmas. I was very anxious to hear it when it first came out, and I've enjoyed it. Boy, that reflects big, doesn't it? I've enjoyed it every year ever since. Has some remakes, two or three originals, really great stuff. And as I said, when I bought this, I bought it together, the CD and the album, and it came with a digital download. Even though I could rip the CD, it was the same thing. Really good stuff. One of the things I do not have in my collection, I don't believe, is the Mariah Carey. I am so sick of all I want for Christmas is you. Um, this one I picked up from Dawn just for the hell of it, and I actually finally listened to it last Christmas, and it's just what it is, a Cabbage Patch Christmas. Um, yeah, we'll leave it at that. It's not terrible. It's not something I'll listen to every day. Neither is this, but it was fun listening to it because this guy has a hell of a voice for telling stories. He was a senator at one point, Everett McKinley Dirksen at Christmas time. He had a hit single called Gallant Men back in the mid 60s when he was a senator. This is his third recording. He was the minority leader of the Senate and the senior senator from Illinois, according to this. And he tells quite a few little stories here and recites Christmas poems. It's actually a pretty good album. The Four Seasons Christmas album. This is a classic from back then. All great stuff. Couple of medleys. And this for four-part harmony, these four guys were just stupendous. Oh, I'm already getting clogged here. Um, this one I picked up from Adam, I believe, at Record Crate. Jackie Gleason, White Christmas. This is typical Jackie Gleason style arrangements on typical Christmas songs. It's a Pickwick release, so it's a reissue. And it's pretty good. I love that kind of stuff. You guys know that. We Need a Little Christmas, the Gold Diggers. I don't know if you guys remember who the Gold Diggers were. They were I don't know if they were actually music. I mean, they weren't bad. This is on Retro Media Records, which is the label Bobby Sherman was on. I have his Christmas album on CD. Um, this is fun. Most people remember them from doing the Dean Martin show and having their own summer series. And then they became the Dingling Girls offshoot later. Um, Basically just there to let Dean act like a dirty old man. Have a happy holiday with Lorne Green. Oh joy. I don't remember if I got this from Don or oh no, this came from Record Crate. Stories of Christmas and the songs of Christmas and the whole Oh Holy Night. He does actually sing on this album. Um, and it's actually for what it is. It's not terrible. The two Christmas albums from my boys. This is the most recent album, 2016, I think. Let me see. Oh, of course, it doesn't have it on there on the thing. This is Finally It's Christmas from Hanson. The one thing that irritated me when this album came out is it doesn't include my favorite Christmas sweater, which was actually a single only on the website, and you had to be a fan club member. And it wasn't included on Perennial either. So, but this is great. It's got Finally It's Christmas. It's got several originals and all the typical stuff: Jingle Bells, Happy Christmas, Winter Wonderland, blah blah blah. And one of my favorite Christmas albums of all time, Snowed In from 1998. This features my all-time Christmas favorite song, At Christmas, which Ike sings lead on. Absolutely beautiful song about Christmas and family. Lovely. All the typical stuff is here. Their cover of their song Christmas Time, covers of Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, um, Little Saint Nick, Merry Christmas Baby. It's a great Christmas album. Next up, this is from the High on Music musicians and singers. Yeah, it's one of those sound alike albums. High on Christmas. I got this from Dawn and Mary, and I put the tape back on it because I got to admit, it's just not my cup of tea, but it's typical stuff done by, chorus type thing. This didn't really get anywhere when it was out in the 87, 86. And it's a great album, and it's mostly originals. This is Christmas with the Jets. It features their far superior version of Somewhere Out There. I like their version better than Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram. Really terrific stuff. And this is back when Eugene was still a part of the band, so that would have been 86. He split with the band and joined Joe Pasquale in Boys Club for a couple of years. He eventually did return to the Jets, though. Classic, beautiful music style. Christmas Wonderland, Bert Kempfert and his orchestra. All your standards are here. Little Drummer Boy, Santa Claus Coming to Town, Winter Wonderland, White Christmas, all the usual stuff. I have two copies of that. One came, I believe, from Don, the other from Steve at Value Vinyl. When I lived in Harrington, they had some Christmas albums every year at the local drugstore. For I think they were $1.99. We bought some of them. This is the only one I didn't lose on my cross country. And I do like his music. And I think I made that clear with one of the other collections I have. This is "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" from Liberace. I love his playing of "O Holy Night." It is absolutely stupendous. Songs of Christmas by the Norman Luboff Choir. This is your typical chorale type stuff from the early 60s. Uh, every major Christmas song is on here, plus some of the ones you probably never heard of. All Christmas hymns or Christmas classics. Another beautiful music style, when Montavani, Christmas carols. Excuse me. First Noel, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Adeste Fidelis, Midnight Waltz, A Little Town of Bethlehem. All those are on here. You can't get more cheesy. And I don't mean that in a nasty way with this, but you can't get more cheesy than Mitch Miller. Holiday Sing Along with Mitch. Of course, the tracks are designed to sing along. It does have the lyrics and of all the songs in here. Um, I loved the Mitch Miller Amazon.com commercials that aired in 1998 or 9, which Bob McGrath from Sesame Street, who got his break with the Mitch Miller singers, came back to do. They were absolutely hilarious. And they're really kind of fun, you know? I mean, There is this show overseas in Sweden and Norway have both done it over the years called this. It's basically a sing-along song. They do it during the summertime at a picturesque park. I don't remember, all sang something. And they have pop music come on, and I actually bought this from Adam. Oh, wow. Um, Pop stars come on and they sing along with their stuff. I found it because I was looking for Lucas Graham online one day and came across his performance of Love Someone on there. And I started looking around. I'm like, holy crap, they have tons of Eurovision people on here and everything else. It's a great show. You should look it up. They should try that in America. It'd be interesting. Anyway, holiday with Sing Along with Mitch. Um, This is marked $1, but I refuse to believe I actually bought this. I have a feeling it came from Dawn. Jim Neighbors' Christmas album. Jim is a marvelous vocalist. With that deep baritone that he has, completely belies his speaking voice. He was one of my mom's favorites, actually. We didn't have anything by him, but she would love this album. I have two copies of this. I originally had it when I was a kid. Both of these are more recent pickups, I think. Maybe not. I know one of them came from Record Crate. The other one might be my original. This is a Partridge Family Christmas card, which I have on CD also now. So it gets played a lot at Christmas time. Um, Particular song on here should have become a holiday standard. That is the song written by Wes Farrell, I believe. Or no, it was Tony Romeo. My Christmas Card to You. Absolutely great original on here. Otherwise, it's pretty much covers of other popular Christmas songs, but I love My Christmas Card to You, and I don't understand why it didn't become a holiday staple. One of the more recent Christmas albums, I picked this up in 2021 or 2022. I think it came out the year before that. This is Steve Perry, The Season. Steve's marvelous versions of the Christmas song, I'll Be Home for Christmas, What Are You Doing New Year's Eve, and 5 other ones. Absolutely fantastic. Rounding out the Christmas pile, uh, Christmas hymns and carols, Bob Ralston at the organ with chimes and chorus. These are basically little medleys of 2 or 3 songs all the way through the album. You can see them all listed there. Um, as I said, I met him when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I'm glad my mom or my stepdad was with me because it could have gotten nasty. Go see the Wikipedia. Um, Here's one I'm going to ask you, and I'll bet you nobody remembers these kids. Back in the '74, uh, another Family Act hit. They had one album and one Christmas album that I know of, and I never have found the album. I probably could find it on Discogs if I wanted. I found this on Discogs for $3. The Rhodes Kids, Rockin' Rhodes Christmas. They made the obligatory television circuit when their pop album came out in early 1974. And like, or 75, whenever it was, they did the Mike Douglas show, they did the Dinah show, they did Merv Griffin, they did all of them. There's the kids then. I don't know what happened to any of them, but it was basically, I don't know, a Brady Christmas type of stuff. The seminal album from the '80s, if you like Christmas music, Kenny and Dolly, Once Upon a Christmas, one of my favorite Christmas albums. Kenny and Dolly just are terrific together. And they were such good friends. It's so good to know that they had fun doing this. And the TV special that came with it. Um, this one I didn't even know about until I joined the vinyl community. And that says a lot because you guys know I'm nuts about this group. And this album was released on their own label after they left Windsong Records in after the release of 4x4. And as usual, it gets the shaft from the critics. But you cannot beat these 4 people for incredible harmonies, and they do it here again. This is Starland Vocal Band, Christmas at Home. It came out at Christmas 1980. Bill and Taffy Danoff, John Carroll, Margot Chapman, Fabulous Christmas album. Um, I had this. I had the 45 of the single from this. I didn't get the album until 1986, I think it was reissued. And then I got it on CD in the 90s. And, it's really a fun album. Yes, technically it's a children's album, but if you're a Star Wars fan, it should be a must for your collection. This is Christmas in the Stars, Star Wars Christmas album. It features the hit single, What Would You Get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already owns a comb? And R2D2, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, featuring the lead vocal debut of John Bon Jovi when he was 18 years old. It is really a great album, and Anthony Daniels appears as the voice of C-3PO, so you can't go wrong. Oh, shut up out there. Season's greetings from Barbara Streisand. This came from Steve at Value Vinyl. It is Barbara's first Christmas album, I believe. Actually, this is another one of those. Is it? No, Season's greeting from Barbara Streisand and Friends. Sorry, she's got other people with her. Now, some various artists' Christmas albums. I do keep those with the Christmas music. And these two I got from Adam at Record Crate. And they are, I think, the best thing I've ever heard of. And they're radio only promos. So you have to look for them. You have to pay through the nose for them. But they are terrific. This was from 2009, I believe. Let me check the year. Because they came out 2 years in a row. And of course, 2009. This is gift wrapped. It is Warner Brothers artists and associated labels on the Warner label. This particular, and the cool thing about this is a lot of this music, about 60% of it, you can only find it on these albums. This particular album includes Michael Bublé, My Chemical Romance, The Flaming Lips, Nicki and Rich, Foxy Shazam, Jack's Mannequin, Megan Smith, Randy Travis, Regina Spektor, Tyler Hilton, who I didn't know was signed to a major label. Everything else I have by Amazon and indie label. Melee, The Used, Never Shout Never. I love them. Dwight Yoakam, Jeremy Lister, Reliant K, Whitney Duncan, the Brian Setzer Orchestra, Blake Shelton, and RREM. And in 2010, they did it again. Gift wrapped, Snowed In. This one is actually on colored vinyl. I don't remember. Is this one on colored vinyl? I haven't. I don't think I played the first one last year. Yeah, this is on red and green vinyl. One album on red and one album on green. As you can see here. Translucent of both of them. This one is on like a purple and white. But this has got some great stuff on it. Let me pull it up because I can't see anything on the front. They don't have it on the front this time. This album includes Cavo, Ben Keith featuring Neil Young and Peggy Young, Oasis, American Bang, Cara DeGardi, and Jason Reeves, Tegan and Sarah, Regina Spektor, Devo, David Foster, The Ready Set, that's why I bought it, his cover of Wonderful Christmas Time, which is just great, Foxy Shazam, The Goo Goo Dolls, Rachel Yamagata, Everest, The Dirt Drifters, The Spill Canvas, Stardeath and White Dwarves, House of Heroes, and The Flaming Lips, who do The Little Drummer Boy live. These albums are worth seeking out because they're so full of an eclectic mix of stuff. I paid $30, I think, for each one of them, and every second is worth it. This one came from my stepfather, Great Songs of Christmas. It was given away with tire purchases from Goodyear. This one has Barbra Streisand, Andy Williams, Johnny Mathis, The King Family, Pablo Casals, Jan Pierce, Ray Conniff, New Christy Minstrels, Steve and Edie, Mormon Tabernacle Choir, Mahalia Jackson, and the New Christy Minstrels, who are pictured here, down here. And I haven't looked, but I don't. The period is the early '60s, so I doubt that Kim Carnes was a part of it at that time. Or Kenny Rogers. I think he was in it too. Um, Home for the Holidays, another greatest various artists collection. This one from MCA Records includes um, the Pat Boone Family, Jack Jones, Bing Crosby, the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. Oh, I have the Brady Christmas on CD. Pete Fountain, Robert Shaw conducting the Atlanta Symphony, Loretta Lynn, Lawrence Welk, Liberace, Burl Ives, Roger Williams, and more of Robert Shaw. Very traditional, easy listening stuff. As is Weiler's presents the second season. This is very much crooner type stuff. It is a free giveaway from Weiler's drink mix. And includes side one is all Tony Bennett stuff, solo and medley. And then side two is Ferranti and Teicher, Johnny Mathis, Tony Bennett, Skitch Henderson, and Charlie Bird. Back into artists now, the Vienna Voice Choir, Christmas. It is what you think it is, Vienna Voice Choir. The Roger Whittaker Christmas album, another one I picked up from Record Crate, I believe. Yep. Because I've always loved Roger's wonderful voice. I don't own any albums by him. I own digital stuff that I've downloaded, and I do have The Last Farewell on single, but I have but a small voice on single, picture sleeve single actually, and that's just enough for me. That's all I really need. Roger Williams, Christmas Time with the Concert Grand Orchestra. Roger Williams, of course, is this gentleman. He is a pianist extraordinaire. Typical Christmas stuff. And finally, we're going to close out our Christmas stuff with Christmas with Zamfir. Pan Flute Christmas. It's really actually quite wonderful. I really like this. There's some recognizable stuff on here. There's other songs that are not recognizable, but they're classical pieces that have been adapted for this kind of stuff. And I was surprised at how much I really enjoyed this. Now, let me straighten these out, and then we'll come back with the various artists. Okay, I'm back. These are various artists. Now, various artists are listed in, are alphabetized by title of the album. And there's not obviously one artist associated with them. There are more than one artist. That's why they are various artists. Hello. But I do have them subdivided. These are regular various artist albums, and then we'll talk about the two subdivisions in just a few minutes when we get there. This one is one I got from Steve at Value Vinyl, recorded by the Sound Effects, one of those sing-along, sound-alike bands. Autumn 73, 20 hit songs. They're not very good at this. I'm going to be totally honest. They're not very good at these. I picked this up way back when it came out, and I believe I got a copy from Dawn of the little narrative thing that goes with this. It's in the 45 boxes, though. Dick Clark, 20 Years of Rock and Roll. This was released in conjunction with American Bandstand's 20th anniversary in 1973. There's a song from every year from 53 to 73. It includes all kinds of good stuff, and rather than ramble through them, I'll put this up here. If you can see it, pause it, freeze frame it. There you go. Disco Heat. I picked this up when I was in high school. A lot of this stuff has made its way onto Disco Party. Some of the best disco songs of all time are on this little collection. This is a Canadian pressing. This is what it looks like. It includes In the Bush by Musique, You and I, Rick James. Also, You Can't Turn Me Off, High Energy, Get Off, Foxy, Don't Hold Back, Chanson. Love is in the Air by Martin Stevens, who I don't know. I know that song by John Paul Young, and I can't stand it. The version of the Wonder Woman theme comes off this album, the Wonderland Disco Band. My Claim to Fame, Instant Replay. It's terrific disco. Another one, Disco Express. The difference between the two, this is uh, mixed so that they all stay mixed. Gary's Gang, the Jacksons, Theo Vaness, the Bombers, Amant, Gonzalez, T Connection, Cheryl Lynn, Gino Socio, Taste of Honey, Witch Queen, and a few other ones. Dueling Banjos, this was inspired by Deliverance, features covers of a lot of songs that were featured in that movie and around country music, bluegrass style stuff. This is September releases of what year? Yeah, can't tell. I'd say sometime in the late 70s. It is UK. Oh, it's a UK promotion, so this is a UK pressing. Uh, September releases. It includes music by the Whackers, Jeannie Green, Lindisfarne, Lonnie Mack, and that's it. I know Run for Home from Lindisfarne. I didn't know any, and that's actually not on here. I knew that as a single, but this was interesting. And I am considering doing a third subdivision, but I don't have enough yet. These albums are all directly connected to Eurovision. This is Eurovision Collected, winners only. This is a collection, 2 record collection. Came out in 2022. It looks like it goes back as far as the late 60s. It does have the most recent winner at the time, which is Stefania by Kalush Orchestra from Ukraine. And it has Netta, Duncan Laurence, Lena, Lordy, Katrina and the Waves, Secret Garden, Sandra Kim, Johnny Logan, which they chose Hold Me Now, thankfully, because I was never that fond of saving Just Another Year, which won 1980. And I actually like Hold Me Now, which we won with in 87, I think. Good winter stuff. And then I have 2 yearly sets. Some of the earlier ones they did start doing this in the 80s. Are really expensive. I've only picked up 2 of them so far. This is Turin 2022. This one is I'm trying to think of who 22 would have been. That's Stefania by Kalush Orchestra. But it also includes other songs that became known across the world, including Sam Ryder's Spaceman. Um, I think. No, I'm wrong about that. This has Mahmood and Blanco with Bravidi, which was their Mahmood had also done it in 2019 with Soldi, which I don't have the 2019 one. I have it on digital. I downloaded most of the ones from the 2000s, but I didn't get the vinyl. And I have um, several of these on CD too, several Eurovision collections. But this is one of the only vinyl ones I have because they're just too expensive. And 2024, Malmo. This was, I believe, Nemo's year with the code. Yeah, and all the great songs that came out of that. This includes Croatia's Baby Lasagna and Rim Tim Taggy Dim, which was a hit all over Europe and came in second to Nemo. Um, I'm trying to think of what other songs off here I had on my chart. I don't think I was yet. It has still set aside by that point. But a lot of good stuff came out of this year. Okay. This was, I think, supposed to be a series, and it never went there. They did a second one, but I only got the first one. A cheap peek at today's provocative new rock exposed. This was CBS. This was in the stores, though, but it was also on sale. It's a double record set. I believe it was $6.99. when it came out. This is like a sampler, like the Warner Lost Leaders series, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. This featured Loverboy, Judas Priest, Ellen Foley, Adam and the Ants, Steve Forbert, Ian Gum, Roseanne Cash, The Romantics, Sorrows, the Boomtown Rats, Garland Jeffries. I think everybody else is repeats on that. Yeah, it's a good album. I don't know why I bought this. It was like $4.99 when I lived in Harrington. It was 50s and 60s stuff. Probably because of Grease, I guess. Has all kinds of good stuff on it called Grease Lightning. Features Teen Angel by Mark Denning, A Teenager's Romance, Ricky Nelson, Chantilly Lace, Big Bopper. Wishing and Hoping is a bit out of place, Dusty Springfield. Everything else is from well before that. Good stuff. Great Western hits. This came from my step grandfather. Ray Price, Carl Smith, Lefty Frizzell, each doing 4 songs. Got this as a prize from Adam one night. Great album. Terrific versions of the Bee Gees music done with Barry Gibb, working with them. The people on this is amazing. This is Greenfields, the Gibb Brothers Songbook, Volume 1. In addition to Barry, it includes Keith Urban, Jason Isbell, Brandy Carlisle, Dolly Parton. I can't read the cursive writing on a lot of these. Um, really, Olivia Newton-John, one of the last things she recorded before she passed away. Really, really great versions, and it's all country bluegrass style. Really fantastic. Danny Kaye with the Klinger Sisters, Earl Brown Singers, Paul Weston and his orchestra, presented by your Rambler dealer. They each do different songs, so it's not all Danny Kaye. KJR 16 All American Hits put out by KJR Radio in Seattle. This was my cousin's. As you can see, it is in absolute shit shape. 1966, maybe. Along Comes Mary, Snoopy versus the Red Baron, Summer in the City, Gloria, the Dirty Water. Uh, all big hits from that era. This is a UK pressing I bought for one reason. And it was really, really worth it. I got it as an import. This is the OG, the original, the very first anywhere. Now that's what they call music. This is Volume 1 from 1983. I purchased it because it had Le Mans' solo hit Only for Love on it. It had not yet been released in the States. It also includes the original version of Red Red Wine by UB40, which does not have the rap in it that became a big hit. Malcolm McLaren, Bonnie Tyler, Culture Club, Kajagoogoo, Men at Work, Rod Stewart, Paul Young, Genesis, Tracy Ullman. It's fantastic. This is local music artists from Columbus, Ohio. QFM 96 Hometown Album Project Volume 3. QFM was their album rock station. The bands that appeared were Rosie, Showborn and Pierce, Linda Carr, The Guys, Urban Sprawl, Guys, Guise, Urban Sprawl, The Vectors, Cirrus, The Terry Keefe Band, Charlie Bleak, Crying Out Loud, Dewey Campbell, and Jet Boys. This is a promo only again, I think, or maybe not. 26 heavy sounds from Columbia, Something Else Again. Features a ton of Columbia artists from 68, 69, including Santana, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Laura Nero, Chicago, Spiral Staircase, Pacific Gas and Electric, Sly and the Family Stone, Aretha Franklin, The Arbors. I thought we're on Date Records, so maybe Columbia had something to do with that. And a bunch of other stuff on here. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, The Zombies, Time of the Season is on here. Great collection. I want to say this came from Steve at Value Vinyl. Um, Truck driving man. More truck driving favorites to keep the big real rigs rolling. This is from the 60s, not part of the CB craze. And it is one of those, no artists, no known artists, no known songs, but all truck driving themed. Eh, I'm sorry, excuse me. 24 Groovy Greats. This is all original artists. This also came from my cousin, also in terrible shape. The list of stuff is on there, is on the two sidebars. And finally, on the general various artists, there is We Are the World. This is a includes new music from Chicago, Huey Lewis and the News, Steve Perry, Pointer Sisters, Prince and the Revolution, Kenny Rogers, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, and Tina Turner, plus USA for Africa's We Are the World, and Northern Lights is fantastic. Tears Are Not Enough. Northern Lights was the Canadian effort for the famine in Ethiopia. Um, a lot of people in the 80s had this album. Now, as I said, I have two subdivisions of various artists. The first one is K-Tel albums. These are all K-Tel. I don't think there's any Ronco in here. Um, but, we're just going to go through them real quick and I'll show you the titles and that's where it'll go. This is Circuit Breaker. I would say 78 from the titles. Disco Mania, also 77, 78, somewhere in there. Dumb Ditties. Dr. Demento fair for this one. I don't know if you can see those. Just freeze frame it if you want to read them. Dynamite. I got this when I was in 6th grade because it had one of my favorite songs on it that I couldn't find on a single anywhere. And I still love it. Peter Noon's Meet Me on the Corner down at Joe's Cafe. Love that song. And there's the rest of the tracks. Fantastic. Got this when I was a kid too. Mom and my stepdad were always willing to buy K-Tel albums because they were only like $4.99. They had a ton of songs. This they're all truncated though. They cut the second chorus out of the Night Lights Went Out in Georgia on this. Uh, good stuff. Mind Bender. This is from 75, 76. Sedaka, Elton John, and a number of other artists on here. Music Power. 74, I'd say. Smoking in the Boys Room, Pillow Talk. Yeah, probably 74. It has Gordon Sinclair's version of The Americans. He was the dude that originated that. Byron Sinclair had the top 5 hit with it. Today's Super Greats, I believe this is part 2. This was the first K-Tel album I got as a cutout. And this had Oh Babe, What Would You Say, Hurricane Smith, Frida Payne, Dennis Coffey, The Bells, Chairman of the Board, Gallery, and a whole host of others. And this actually came from Dawn. 20 Power Hits, Volume 2. I have to take the album out of the sleeve so you can... Oh, you can't read it anyway. Never mind. The artists are listed there on the side. And you can see, like, Partridge Family, Isley Brothers, Ocean, and Dawn, which is just Tony Orlando. Ocean is the band that had a hit with Put Your Hand in a Hand. And 20 Dynamic Hits Top Star Festival Original Stars Original Songs. This is from 70, 71. It includes the Hillside Singers version of I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, as well as all of those tracks. Now, the other single designation sub-genre of various artists I am actively trying to get out all of them. And I've admit some of these I had originally when they came out, and others I've purchased through Discogs sellers. That is the Warner Brothers Lost Leaders. These were albums released at usually, I don't know about the early ones, but the ones I bought when I was a kid were $2 a piece, and they sent you these two record sets that were basically samplers for the Warner Brothers labels family. And the first one I bought was the first one on the stack. This was a la carte, 1979, 1980. This features um, St. Paradise, Junior Walker, Con Hunley, Candy Staton, Adam Mitchell, Robert Palmer, the Bellamy Brothers, the Gibson Brothers, Danny O'Keefe, Sanford Townsend Band, Climax Blues Band, Duncan Brown, Madeline Kane, Runner, Roger Voudouris, who I've talked about before, Nitro, the B-52s, Rock Lobster is on this album, folks. That's where I first heard that song. I've always loved it. Mavis Staples, Emmylou Harris, Manfred Mann's Earth Band, Maria Moldauer, and Bootsy's Rubber Band. And the liner notes, I'm not sure. Not all of them, but some of them. And this one doesn't have credit. Usually it says. Oh yeah, okay. Sequence Inc., Nina Franklin, Linda York, and Ellen Pelletiero did the liner notes for them. The next one I bought was in the cutout bin or used bin, Eclipse. It comes from 1980-81. Or is this the one I bought on my own? No, this one I bought also through Warner directly. Leo Sayer, Tom Johnson, Lauren Wood, Vapor Trails, who I later bought the album by, Danny Duma, Van Morrison, Roy Wood, the Corgis, the Ramones, Aldo Reserve, Talking Heads, Monty Python's Life of Brian, Randy Newman, Nicolette Larson, Ry Cooder, the Moo Brummels, Carlene Carter, Bonnie Raitt, Sly and the Family Stone, Funkadelic, Little Feat, the Dukes, and Bob Marley and the Wailers. Jim Bickhart did the notes on this one. This one came from Record Crate. This is Hot Platters. This one is a completely white cardboard sleeve. I don't remember who's on it. I'm not going to get them out because the sleeve is very dicey. This one is, I didn't know they still made records like this. And this was also from Record Crate. This one, I'm just checking to see. Oh, okay. This one has Seals and Crofts, Bonnie Raitt, Leo Sayer, Dionne Warwick. It should have an E at the end because it's Thing Came You, which was when she was an E. Van Morrison, Fleetwood Mac, James Taylor, Marsha Waldorf, Arlo Guthrie, which they spelled wrong, Randy Newman, Cher, Emmylou Harris, Chris Ducey, Joni Mitchell, Randy Newman again, John Sebastian, Maria Moldauer, Kenny Rankin, Waldo de los Rios, the San Sebastian Strings, Gordon Lightfoot, Greg Allman, Rex Allen Jr., Wendy Waldman, Jesse Colin Young, and Rod McEwen. These, I'm trying to see who wrote the notes. And of course, on this one, it doesn't say it at all. Comes from the mid-70s. Limo, I believe, is from the late 70s. Let me see. Yeah, late 70s, early 80s. Limo was another one. I got this at a used record store. I forget where. 76 is when this came out. Just checking the time. I don't want to go too over. Ry Cooder, Sanford and Townsend, Jonathan Cain Band, Bonnie Raitt, Little Feat, Van Morrison, Leo Sayer, Al Jarreau, Anna and Kate and Anna McGargle. McGargle? I've never been able to pronounce her name. Danny O'Keefe, Eddie Hazel, Fleetwood Mac, The Dreams is on here. And that Leo Sayers, You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. Mylan LaFave, Chunky, Novi, and Ernie. Jesse Winchester, Wendy Waldman, Jesse Colin Young, Deaf School, Gabby Pahuni Hawaiian Band, The Hen House 5+2 with In the Mood, That's what led me to pick this up, actually. Hearth Martinez, Emmylou Harris, Gary Wright, Attitudes, Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes, the Doobie Brothers, and Rod Stewart's Tonight's the Night. Middle of the road, this is exactly what it says it is. These are easy listening artists. Oh, I forgot to check. Wait a minute, I gotta check. One of these has liner notes by Barry Hansen. This one, Barry Hansen, better known as Dr. Demento. Um, and so he did this one too. This is all easy listening stuff. Um, Jennifer Dion, Rod McEwen, Jesse Colin Young, Gordon Lightfoot, James Taylor, Randy Newman, John Stewart, Kenny Rogers in the first edition, John Sebastian, Fleetwood Mac, Frank Sinatra, Seals and Crofts, Todd Rundgren, The Beach Boys, America, Mary Travers, T-Rex on the middle of the road, Alex Taylor, Pentangle, Peter Yarrow, Tony Joe White, Dionne Warwick with the E in place this time, and Paul Stuckey. So basically all of Peter, Paul, and Mary are represented as solo artists here. Pumping Vinyl. Let me check real quick. That one's from... When is this from? I can't tell. The fact that Rod McEwen is on here says it's early 70s. I'm trying to tell from the music. Yeah, 70 or 71 because James Taylor's Mudside Slim, so that's early. Pumping Vinyl. Let's see. This is from... Yeah, program... Oh, here he actually bills himself as Dr. Demento. Programmed by Dr. Demento. This is from 79. Nicolette Larson, Rodney Crowell. That sounds wrong here. It'd be easier to go that way. Michael Franks, Rose Royce, don't live here anymore. Definitely top. The Staples. Then Lizzie, Funkadelic, Larry Graham and Graham Central Station, Larry Carlton, Third World, Now That We Found Love, the original version. Fortune, Van Morrison, Lonnie McKee, Donna Fargo, Flora Purim, Carlene Carter, Willie Hutch, Todd Rundgren, Devo, The Pirates, Jimmy Cliff, Leon Russell, Captain Beefheart, Bruce Coburn, and Arlo Guthrie. And finally, Give 'Em the Works. This is also from the 70s, I believe. I'm looking at the titles here. The acts on here seem 70s. Again, Barry Hansen doing the notes. He did it on most of these for the 70s. Rod Stewart, Foghat, Jimmy Cliff, Montrose, Tower of Power, Van Dyke Parks, Fleetwood Mac, Al Jarreau, Bonnie Raitt, Ray Riley Hubbard and the Cowboy Twinkies, David Sanborn, Graham Central Station, The Meters, Leo Sayer, Little Feat, Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen, Richard Pryor, Captain Beefheart with Frank Zappa, Ronnie Blakely. Okay, so that puts this probably after Nashville. Chris Ducey, Black Sabbath, Todd Rundgren's Utopia, and the Beach Boys. And I've rambled on and on this one. Those are Holiday and various artists and my subdivisions. Do you think I should give Eurovision its own subdivision? If I get enough more stuff, I will. Next up, we're going to do 2 shows on 12-inch singles because it takes 2 whole cubes. I have tons of 12-inch singles, so I'm going to split that into 2 sections. I'll figure out where when I get to it. Until then, thank you for watching. If you've subscribed already, thank you. And if you haven't, please do. And don't forget to like, share, and comment. Comment. Thank you, Professor Carlson and DJ Trish and everybody else who's left comments so far. Dawn. And if you can, support us through our GoFundMe or through our swag shop or through our connections with Patreon, Ko-Fi, and go buy me a coffee. Be greatly appreciated. 12-inch singles are coming next in a 2-part show, and or 2 shows actually, And I hope you join me for those, probably Sunday or Monday. And we'll see what happens. Until then, I'm TC Kirkham for TC's Vinyl Archive, the complete vinyl collection. Hoping you have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the interwebs. Ciao, baby.